do we love ourselves even if we don't feel that we're worthy or deserving of love? This was a question that came up last week in the comments on one of my videos, and the person that wrote the comment into the comment section asked if I would make a video on this topic. I was very excited to do that. I was not raised as a child to love myself, to cherish myself, to trust myself, to listen to myself. I was brought up to people please, to always say yes to everything, to look good, to be perfect. And so I had to learn some strategies for self-love, self-compassion, for treasuring and trusting myself on my own later in life as I reparented myself. And so I've come up with 7 ideas of many things that I do to love myself. And I'm going to share those with you today. I hope the person that made that comment, asked for this content, is excited about this. Here we go. These are 7 things you can do to love yourself. Number 1, start by saying that you should love yourself and that you are deserving or worthy of love. In the question, it says, well, what do I do if I don't believe that I'm worthy or deserving of love? The very first step is to start to change that thinking and that ideology. It's going to be hard to love yourself and to act in loving, kind ways if even subconsciously in the back of your mind, you don't really believe that you deserve love. If you're always kind of saying, I'm a piece of crap, I've made mistakes, I've screwed up, I've driven people away, I've done this, I've done that, I'm not deserving or worthy of love, it's going to be hard for you to follow these practices that are loving. And so your body and your conscious mind will a lot of time believe whatever your subconscious mind tells it. And so if you know that in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, but no, I don't really think I truly am deserving of love. You've got to actually consciously get involved and talk yourself into a new belief. So saying to yourself every single day, I am worthy of love. I deserve love. I am going to love myself. I will love myself. I want to do it and I can, is a really important first step. Number 2, once you've done that, you've actually agreed that you're going to love yourself and you've committed to doing that and you truly are working, because your beliefs come from you, you're truly working to say, that is my belief. My belief is I do deserve love. Creating a series of daily affirmations can be very helpful. I have clients that have these on their mirror in the bathroom. Some of them keep their affirmations at their desk, others on their phones, just in a place that they can see them often. And they might say things like, I am strong. I am beautiful. I am capable. I am a great leader. I have the ability to resolve conflict and I help other people do their best. I'm doing my best. I can embrace struggle. I am a person of courage. When I have fear, I can overcome that fear. And I am a person that does and will and can do these things. So if you see that every single morning in the bathroom or on your phone or in your office, over time it becomes easier to believe those things and feel those things. We tend to believe what is put in front of us over and over again. And so having these affirmations starts to convince you or re-educate your conscious mind and your subconscious mind of them. And so saying these things out loud makes them true. And so having affirmations, statements about yourself that are positive, that are loving, that are kind, reading them, referring to them often, especially in the morning as you start your day, is a loving and a kind act. Number 3, check in with yourself fairly often. I was not brought up to do this. I was brought up to kind of go along with what other people wanted of me and for me. If a teacher or a boss had an ask, it was like I should adhere to that as quickly as I can. And so I sometimes ended up in relationships that I didn't feel good about, and I didn't always notice that that was happening. So check in with yourself, ask yourself these questions often. How do I feel about this situation, this thing that's happening in my life? And number 2, how do I want to feel about this? You might find that a person actually makes you uncomfortable that you've been spending time with. Or you might find, hey, I actually feel disrespected. I feel afraid. I feel nervous. I feel scared. I feel kind of angry. I feel a little betrayed. I feel ignored. The more you're connecting with yourself and you're actually becoming aware of what your feelings are, then the more likely you're able to act on them and actually say, I'm going to limit my contact with this person. I'm going to remove this person from my life. I'm going to start speaking up for myself. I'm going to respect my own boundaries and ask for what I need. But you can't do that if you haven't checked in with yourself, observed yourself, noticed yourself, and actually asked yourself, like, where am I at? How am I feeling? And in the moment, if you say, I'm just feeling really sad, someone passed away that I cared about, don't try to always talk yourself out of your feelings. You might say, I'm going to be sad for a while. I want to be sad. I'm okay with living that feeling. Now, you might say, I'm feeling a certain way, but I don't want to be feeling that way. Then it's the belief in yourself and empowering yourself to do things to get you out of that. Okay, what could I do to change that? And it's the trusting that you can do things to change that. Next up, number 4, spend time with yourself. And if you're spending time with other people, actually have some of that time being spent doing things you want to be doing. So when you spend time with yourself, you get to run the program. You get to decide how you're going to use that time. That's what I mean by spending time with yourself. It's not, hey, I'm alone, but I'm working on something for someone else. It's, hey, I wanted to take a bubble bath, so I'm doing that. I wanted to go to the salon today, get my nails done, my eyebrows waxed, my hair colored. I'm doing that. I wanted to play golf today with my buddies. I'm doing that. I'm at a happy hour watching a sports event because I wanted to be doing that. Get yourself in situations where you get to do things you want to do. And if you find that you have a friend or a family member where you're always doing the things they want to, start to express that. Say, hey, I'd really like to go to this amusement park today, or I'd like to do this hike, or I'd like to just have coffee at this spot. Can we do that? That would mean a lot to me. I'd really like to do that. People that love themselves, they spend plenty of time alone, connecting with themselves. They figure out, again, how they feel about things, and then they express their needs and their wants. And they love themselves enough because they know that if someone said, no, we're not going to do that ever. We're never going to do it your way. We're always going to do it my way. They would say, well, I love myself enough to walk away from that person. I know that I deserve better, and that's not loving towards me. And so I need to set a boundary around that and honor myself and show up for myself and not be in situations where people just don't really care about me. This brings me to practice number 5. Surround yourself with people that also love you. Loving people, kind people, compassionate people. If you love yourself, it's important for you to be around other loving people, people that are going to cheer you on and champion you. It's very hard to love yourself if you keep someone in your life that is constantly criticizing you, cutting you down, arguing with you, rejecting you, misunderstanding you, and you're saying, hey, I believe this, or I feel this way, or I think that, and they're saying, that's wrong. No, don't do it that way. Do it my way. So think about the company you keep and make sure it's a supportive group of people that have your best interests at heart. Very tough to love yourself if everywhere you go, you've got people that aren't going to also share in the love of you. The next one, honor mistakes. This is a tough one sometimes. We can get hard on ourselves, beat ourselves up when we have failures, when we feel a little bit stuck. Recognize that life is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. So if you're saying, I don't deserve love because I'm not a finished product, I'm struggling with something, maybe I'm in rehab, maybe I'm struggling to rebound and reset my life after a drug or alcohol addiction, maybe I've made a bunch of mistakes, I've cheated on my spouse, or I've been bad to a friend. You've got to be able to forgive yourself for those mistakes and actually say to yourself, hey, I did the best I could at the moment or the time with the tools that I had, and I'm in a state of growth and evolution and learning. And so I'm not going to focus on everything I've done wrong in the past. I'm just going to meet myself where I am today and recognize that we're all struggling with something and that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to do hard things. It's okay to be challenged. I'm not supposed to be perfect. I'm human. I make mistakes, and I am all right with that. If you can't do that, if you criticize yourself for every misstep or setback you have, very, very hard to love yourself. You've got to be cognizant of that language you use to talk to yourself. And finally, don't compare yourself to other people. That's rarely effective. Comparison and living in the past has been said to be a thief or a robber of joy. If you want to be joyful, fulfilled, compare yourself to your past self. If that's helpful for you to say, where am I compared to something? Make it the previous version of you, instead of comparing yourself to other people. No two people are the same. So you looking at other people and saying, this is what they have, this is how much money they make, this is what their family structure looks like, oh, I wish I had that. That actually is an unkind, unloving act. It really really takes away from you and where you are. So to recap, here are the 7 practices you can do to love yourself. Number 1, start by believing you deserve love. Really, truly say that out loud and truly buy into it. Number 2, have a series of daily affirmations, statements about yourself that are positive, that are kind, that you feel are true, and say them to yourself again and again. Number 3, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? How do I want to feel? And if you spend time with other people, sometimes make sure that it's something that you want to be doing, things that you enjoy. Number 4, spend time with yourself. Actually do things in your private time that are meaningful to you. Don't always have 24 hours of your day wrapped up with others. Be there for yourself. Number 5, go ahead and think about who is around you. Surround yourself with people that love you, that care for you. Do not spend time with people that criticize you, judge you, punish you. Number 6, honor your mistakes and failures. Don't get hung up on how you weren't perfect. Honor the process, honor the journey, embrace challenges as learning opportunities. And number 7, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to your past version of yourself. Focus on the things that you do well. Don't get wrapped up in a comparison game where you're looking at the differences between you and others. That's not going to make you feel good. That's not going to serve you. That's really focusing on what you don't have and what someone else does have. Very hard to feel love if you're doing that. With that, those are the 7 practices, behaviors, principles I have to creating more self-love. And I hope this was helpful for anybody that is trying to love themselves and to establish a loving, kind, compassionate relationship with themselves. I know this is tough work sometimes. Reach out, questions in the comments. If there's something else you want to see a video on, let me know that. I'd be happy to fulfill meet requests on basically any topic that you want to hear about if it comes down to happiness, mindset, choices, leadership, success. With that, everybody make a great day and just do your best out there today. Thank you.